you guys. This is a Harry Potter event. Why is it so quiet in here? Do you have any die-hard Harry Potter fans? Let me hear you make some... Welcome out to the Harry Potter Home Entertainment Celebration. My name is Scotty B, and you know, this is the last event of the day, and you guys are all part of it. So we're gonna have some fun. Now, I wish I had a magic wand and we could slow time down to get everybody's question in, but unfortunately we don't. But we do have scouts that'll be out through the audience. Raise your hand if you have a question, they'll come over to you. We'll find out who you are, where you're from, and let you ask your question. Are you guys ready to go? Alright, let's get it started. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, he played the character Seamus Finnegan. She played the character Lavender Brown, Jessie J. Please welcome the character played by Dean Thomas Albayini. Ladies and gentlemen, this actress played the part of Cho Chang. Please welcome Katie Leung. You kind of get the theme of where we're going here. Kind of get the theme of what's happening. Please welcome out the actress who played Luna Lovegood. One of the Weasley brothers, Fred Weasley. And you know very well we could not have one without the other. Please welcome. All right, I think we're ready. We're going to go to the audience here. We're just going to start this out right now. Ryan, right here, who do you have with you, buddy?
Thanks, Scott. We have Marissa from Orlando.
Hi, Marissa. Marissa, what's your question?
My question is, what sort of practical jokes do you guys play at each other, and do you have one that stands out?
Oh, we're starting right out with a fun one. Practical jokes. Any practical jokes played out there? Who's doing it? Who wants to take that?
Okay, I think for me it was with Robbie Coltrane. I think it was in the very first movie. We went into hair and makeup, and Robbie came over and said, "Hey, Devin, come here." So we got Band-Aids, and he put them all over my face. So I went into hair and makeup, and they absolutely freaked out. So that was pretty cool. I think that was one of the best ones that I had with the guys anyway.
There are some others on the end of this panel that were kind of known for some of the practical jokes. Anything that you guys remember throughout was done to you, or that you kind of executed yourselves?
There was a few really. Hello, everybody. There's a really good. There's a few really good ones what we've done over the years. One in particular is our favourite, but we really should say. I need to be allowed back home into the country, so I can't really say it. But I mean, we've been having some really cool stuff with a lot of people actually on tour. A good one was when we were on tour with Katie. Actually, we went to remember that club we went to in Switzerland? They said, what type of music is Katie really into? She's like, death metal.
And they actually had a club specifically for death metal, so we spent the whole night
But what made it good was that the guys from Warner Brothers Switzerland was like, "You enjoyed yourself, Katie?" And Katie was... Meanwhile, it's like Slipknot blasting in the background of Megadeth. So we're there like just in the mosh pit. Meanwhile, Katie's sitting there on the side like, "Yes, I'm having fun."
That's a fun question. All right, let's go to Stephen.
Hey there, I've got a Hufflepuff named Leah here with a very good question.
This is for any of you. I want to know, since you get asked so many questions all the time, is there a question you haven't been asked or don't often get asked that you would like to answer?
Oh, that's kind of weird. There's so many questions that are out there. A question? Wow, that's a strange question.
I think the question in itself, your question.
That would be the one. You remember that because that's unique just to you. All right, that's kind of a strange question, but one that's hard to answer. Let's go. Maybe we'll come back to that. Let's see who else is out there. Julia, where are you, Julia?
I'm right over here, Scotty.
Hi.
I've got Connor from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Hey, Connor.
I love you guys. Thank you for bringing the magic to life. But my question is, what is your guys' favorite book and why?
Oh, the series. What's your favorite book and why? Alfie, do you have a favorite book?
Out of the series, I'd say the second one's my favourite. I love the Chamber of Secrets. It was, you know, as it goes on, the other ones are great just because they just get longer, so there's more Harry Potter to enjoy. So I like that, but I think the second one remains my favourite just because it's really terrifying. It's really, really scary. That bit in the Chamber of Secrets, I remember I read it all through the night. So I was there at like 4 in the morning in pitch black at the age of 11 or something, reading this, and I was terrified, but I just couldn't put it down. So I think that's always going to be my favourite.
Jesse, do you have a favorite book?
This is Harry Potter book.
Correct.
Yeah, that would make sense. The third book.
And why the third book?
I don't know, I probably struck at that point in time I was reading it and I was totally absorbed by it. But I mean, I've loved all of them, obviously, but I think the third one I remember the most.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go to Kristen.
We have Max from California.
Hi, Max.
Hi, guys. Actually, James and Oliver, we had a dream about you last night, going to the hall with me and my sister, so we want to make our dreams come true. But my question is, since you guys are all kind of young, on the younger side, and just getting into acting, who was your biggest mentor on set? Because you have such a great older acting base to draw through.
I think it's one of those things where we just kind of learn on the way, really. I think being so young, we're quite naive as to how big the older guys were, you know, how much work they've actually done, and it's only been in the later films that we've been able to, I've certainly thought of asking them questions, and that's throughout. All the older actors really are very accommodating to answer questions and let you know what would be good or a different way of playing that scene and stuff. So I would say there's one particular person, the other guys in the cast, but they've all had a really big influence on us.
Anyone else on the panel have an experience where when you were kind of going through the stages of getting used to being on the set and you're kind of finding out what you wanted to do with yourself as an actor, who kind of guided you or gave you some great advice?
I'd like to say that I think...
Thank you. I think just the group, it was amazing to be in Dumbledore's army and to be just a team, because it's so unique on films. You know, often when you're a child actor, you're on your own. It's such an unusual thing. Whereas with Harry Potter, everyone was young, majority of the cast, and I think we really supported each other. And even things like this, these press conferences, to have each other at these things when you would be nervous, it just makes it easy. So I think, we sort of inspire each other.
Thank you. All right, we're going to check in with our team from Facebook, who has over 36 million friends, thanks to folks just like you. Let's check in with Milan. What's our Facebook question?
Sarah I wants to know, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on set?
The most embarrassing thing. Who's going to be brave enough to tackle that one?
I'll say something. I think one of the most embarrassing moments was just before we filmed The Kiss, or rather when we were filming The Kiss, and we didn't really have much direction at the beginning, you know, how to go about it. Dan and I we kind of just went straight into rehearsals, and we didn't know if we were to use tongue or not, so I just went straight for it. And then I think halfway through, David said cut. David Yates said cut. He was like, yeah, I think we should maybe just tone it down a bit. To make it more pleasant rather than sexual, you know. So, that was embarrassing.
Anyone else on the panel? Embarrassing moment?
I think we're going to struggle to top that.
All right, we'll move on from that one. Great question. Where is Ryan?
Right over here, Scott. We have Caitlin from Georgia.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
It's very nice to see you all. I'm very happy. My question is, I heard that especially the James and Oliver were big fans of the Harry Potter Forbidden Journey ride here in Orlando, and I probably think everyone is. And I wanted to see what each person's opinions of it were and what you thought about it when you first wrote it.
We actually first, when we heard the concept that they were going to make the Wizarding World, so this is when it was all blueprints and everything, they came to Leavesden where we filmed the movies and they said, you know, would you like to be part of the ride? Yep. And then, yeah, so literally all Oliver and I and I think Matt and a couple of others had to do was just stand there waving at the end. But I remember we were talking to like Thierry and the other guys who designed the ride, and so the technology didn't seem like it was possible then. So it's amazing how it comes on in 2 years. And so for 2 years we're kind of going over in our head, and 2 years of expectation is a big thing. So when we actually rode it for the first time, a little part of me was kind of waiting to be disappointed, but I got off there and I was, well actually no, I didn't get off, I said, let's go again.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to Julia, or no, Stephen. Let's go to Stephen up at the top.
Thank you, Scotty. I've got Nancy from Mexico.
Hi, Nancy.
First, I want to say that I admire you so much, and I love you. And then my question is, if you have the chance of bring a magical object like a wand or the Disney products, what will it be?
Stephen, help us out with that question.
If you could choose any single magical object from the fiction to bring into the real world, which object would you choose and why?
Oh, that's an interesting question. All right. Who'd like to take that?
I think I'd probably go for the invisibility cloak, just because it's so cool. You'd never have to pay for anything again. You could skip all the queues, just... You could get up to some real mischief with it, and I think you'd be able to play some amazing jokes on your friends and colleagues, and it'd be really, really cool.
Thought about this a lot, haven't you?
I have thought about it a lot. I could spy on people. It'd be great.
You'd be
Katie just said,
dangerous.
what's the time turner called? She just said to me, what's the time turner called?
I go for the time turner. I think, we're always kind of regretting, things that we've done, and it would be great to just have that.
But can I ask Katie something? Don't you think that would be a burden after a while if you could always go back? If you did something, you'd be like, yeah, that was pretty good, but it could be a little bit better. Wouldn't it get annoying after a while?
Probably, but I would still want a time turner.
That's a great question. Thank you very much. Let's go on to Julia. Where's Julia?
Up here in the back, Scotty. Straight up. There you go.
Boom, gotcha. All right.
I'm here with Lynn from Connecticut.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, my question is for James and Oliver. I'm a twin myself, so I just want to thank you for representing us all over the world. And my question is, how hard was it to film the scenes where George was her or Fred died?
Spoiler alert. No, it was a really good laugh, it was pretty difficult, to be fair. It wasn't something what was nice to do for a long stretch of time anyway. As you say, it's one thing to act that your fictional brother has popped it, as we say back home, he's not getting back up. But to actually see your real brother like that, that's quite an emotional roller coaster to go on for about half an hour to an hour when we're filming it.
That's a really good question actually, and this kind of ties into a question previous about advice given when we were shooting part one and we had to do the scene when George was pretty much put onto the sofa, and you're not sure whether he's dead or alive. Julie Walters, who plays Mrs. Weasley, she's like. I said to her, like, I just quietly, like, how should I go about this? Because it's all right to say, just imagine it, but and she said, well, you don't have to talk to everyone on the set. Like, they understand, they all know what we're shooting. So if you need to take 5 minutes before we shoot, get yourself into that emotional state and go in and do that. So that's what I did. So it's quite a miserable start for quite a little bit before we shot that. And thank God it only took a couple of takes, because that was quite testing, really.
Thank you. Kristen.
Yes, we have Maya from Maine.
What's it like growing up on the Harry Potter set?
What's it like growing up on a Harry Potter set? Alfie?
This might sound obvious, but just a lot of fun. I mean, it was brilliant. I mean, we, especially Devon, when we started, we were 11 years old. So I mean, it was like being, I don't know, to say it was like being in a theme park all the time. I suppose comes close in terms of how exciting it was, and how nice and how friendly and welcoming everyone was. Yeah, I mean, it was brilliant. I mean, it was fantastic. Can't really put it any other way. It was wonderful.
Yvonne?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like having your childhood prolonged, because I know so many of you and me. I grew up with the books, and that was just. I just couldn't, I wanted to live in that world. And then when I got a chance to be in the films, it was like, oh great, we're just going to do all those books all over again. And it was just so much fun. And that thing in childhood of, never having to prove yourself to anyone, always feeling really at ease. And that's what it was on the Harry Potter set. You always felt like you were with family, like you were with people who loved you. So yeah, it was really nice.
Great question. Great question. Let's go back to Ryan.
Thanks, Scott. We're with Azul from Argentina.
Hi, guys. My question is, during filming the Harry Potter films, how was school time for you, like with your friends or classmates?
You mean back home, or like at the studios?
Yeah, back at home.
Back home, it was much the same, really. I don't know. It was kind of. I don't know if that's just us. They weren't that fussed about it. They were, it was just one of those things where they were like, "Oh, you go filming? Yeah, all right. I'll see you in a couple of weeks." Like, it wasn't a big deal, really, was it?
Not really, but we told a couple of our close friends before we started shooting that we got the parts, and of course they were like, "Yeah, right, whatever." 3 weeks later, we rock up to school with flaming red hair, and then they probably think, okay, no 14-year-old boy's going to dye their hair ginger for the fun of it. And then, then that stuck for 10 years. But then also the schooling whilst we were filming in the early years, that was quite fun. Like Alfie and Dev, we were all school, and Oliver, we were like in the same school class, as it were, and we technically did a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I mean that was really good fun, because we were legally obliged to do at least 3 hours of tutoring a day while we were on set. But that meant we had to be in the room for 3 hours a day. And the tutors, hats off to them, because they had a tough job. Because we did not make it easy for them. But I mean, we had a brilliant time doing that. We messed around a lot, and every time we had a break, we were told it had to be 15 minutes, and it was serious for everyone, because we had to do the 3 hours. That had to be allowed, and they couldn't have us on set past a certain point if we had to do it. So it was important for everyone. But of course, every time we had a 15-minute break, we were just like, right, we're going to try and extend this to half an hour, and we'd just go and hide after the first 15 minutes was up. So I imagine that was probably quite a pain for everyone else, but it was a lot of fun for us.
Thank you very much. All right, let's go over to Stephen.
Hi there, I've got Gabby from Miami.
Hi, Gabby.
Hi. What's your favorite line that your character said?
Favorite line that your character quoted?
Honestly, woman, you call yourself our mother.
Morning.
Let's go down the line, Ivana.
Oh boy. There's so many. I think the really I sleepwalk, you see. That's why I wear shoes to bed.
You're a really good teacher, Harry.
In other words, you know what's coming.
Alfie?
My problem is probably different to Ivana's. My problem is that there are so few, but I don't know. I always, my friends never let me forget that I had to say, hey look, Neville's got to remember them. So, you know, I cherish that.
Remember them.
Jesse?
I definitely got a kick out calling Rupert 1-1.
1-1.
Mine's probably I can bring her down when singing.
Fantastic. Let's go to Julia.
All right, I've got Kathy from Miami. How could I not pick her when she's wearing this?
Kathy.
Out of all the characters in the Harry Potter series, books or movies, which character matches your personality the most?
Which character matches your personality the most? Let's take that one.
I think out of the books, it'd probably be Peeves.
Anyone else?
George?
I've got to say that because if I say Fred that I'll just be myself. So yeah, I'm going to go with George.
All right, let's go to another question. Kristen, yes.
And this is Tiffany from Delaware.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, how often do you guys watch the movies and what do you guys think when you're watching yourself on screen?
Oh, when you're watching yourself on screen, what do you think?
Every weekend. I do watch it when it just comes on the TV. I just can't help but be like, oh, Harry Potter's on. It's a reaction. It's just natural. I don't know. Whenever I watch, I really enjoy like the first four. Whenever I watch ones that I'm in, it's like they're a Harry Potter film until I'm in it, and then it's like, you know, get off the screen. You know, I can't really believe myself in that world, but thank you. I watch them quite a lot more than I should.
Devin, how about you when you're watching yourself? How does it feel to see yourself on screen?
It's quite strange watching, say, the really old ones, like the first and the second one, because I had such a really squeaky voice. It's quite funny watching it, but I think it's been great, like watching ourselves growing up in it. And about watching it, I only watched the second one today. It was on the TV, so I watched a little bit of that before I came out. But my family, we always watch them all for Christmas time because it's just a great thing. Get the whole family together, get the DVDs out, watch them, and just remember the good days.
Which were not too long ago.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to our next question, Ryan.
Thanks, Scott. We have Samantha from Birmingham.
Samantha.
Hey everybody, thank y'all so much for being here. Being such a young cast, how does it feel to have a fan base that ranges from 5 to 95?
That's an interesting question because it does go over so many, age groups. What does it feel like to have that kind of fan base?
I think that's the great thing about Harry Potter because so many people have seen it, so many people love it, love the books. I think that's just the amazing thing about Joe's writing. It's just kind of, it appeals to everybody reading it. My 25-year-old brother just got back from going to South America and his suitcase is basically half full of Harry Potter books. And I was like, you took them with you to go travelling and you read the Harry Potter books. I thought it was so sweet for like the 6th time, which is actually makes me sound a bit weird. On reflection, he is a bit weird. But yeah, it's lovely. It's a really nice thing about it. Whenever I say anything to anybody, or what would I know, they say, oh, what would I have seen you? And I'm like, oh, Harry Potter. Oh my god! So yeah, definitely. Sorry, I didn't really answer that.
Alfie?
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. It always amazes me really that the appeal of the books is so wide. And to be honest, it shouldn't because I love them so much and I go back to read them and I don't really think I'll ever get tired of doing so. So I suppose it should be no surprise, but it is still amazing when you meet someone who says, someone you wouldn't expect perhaps just comes up to you and says, I love the films, and you think, wow, you're probably not in the majority of the target market, but fantastic, it's brilliant that it can transcend that, and that people enjoy it for any age. I think that's great.
And being here as well, being here and seeing so many different types of people as well is amazing.
Steven.
We have Mel from Wisconsin.
Hi, Mel.
Hi guys, thank you first and foremost. Second off, I know Ivana, you had a lot of history with J.K. Rowling. I just want to know all of your guys' fondest, most memorable moments with John.
Just being completely starstruck when I first saw her at the read-through for Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I was just completely starstruck, more than I've ever been.
I have a really funny one. It was on the sixth read-through. There was a few lines because J.K. Rowling, because you all know out here that Dumbledore's gay, right? Right, good. We have that ground covered. Because I have this little claim to fame that I knew before everyone else because I told her about my theory that Luna and Dumbledore would have been a good couple. And she said to me, she kind of looked at me for a moment, she was like, yeah, and then she told me, she dropped the bomb and said he was gay. But then at the sixth read-through, there were all these really suggestive lines for Dumbledore, and I think they were written in there for Michael Gambon, because he's a bit naughty sometimes. And he was like making some comments about, Dumbledore was making some comments about the waitress and things, and I was like, wait, something's wrong here. And I was looking at J.K. Rowling and I was like, is she gonna say it? And I saw her lean over and say to the writer, she was like, after his line, and I knew she said, by the way, it's gay. And I was just like, yes. It was a really fun moment.
James or Oliver, any kind of feedback or any experience that you had when you first met J.K. Rowling?
I think when we first met was at the read-through for the first Harry Potter film, and again it's like, what do you say? You're right, you know. But we didn't actually know who was going to play Fred and who was going to play George in the first read-through. So the first interaction we really had at all was the casting director. We said to the casting director, Janet, who plays Fred and who plays George? And she looked at us confused and said, okay, when on?
She thought that we were joking, like, in all the auditions, it was pretty much the audition process for Fred and George was at the station when they were messing Mrs. Weasley's mind up. So I think that Janet thought that's what we were doing then. We were like, no, really, who is Fred and who is George? So Janet went over to where Chris Columbus, J.K. Rowling and David Heyman were sitting at the table. And I like to think that it was more them saying, oh, you didn't get the memo, we had a big meeting in America, like 20,000 people, we had to decide. But maybe, I think it was J.K. Rowling maybe just going, him and him. She's, like Oliver said, I think it's like everyone will say as well, that when you first meet her, there's that awestruck, because it's all down to her that all of us are here today talking right now, so that's a pretty cool thing.